You beat Tyson Fury?
I'll be over the moon.
Would you?
Yeah, of course. You know,
Would you like to?
Yeah, of course.
Are you friendly with him?
Not really. But I respect what he's done.
I think he called you a dosser.
Yeah, but...
That's his standard term of abuse.
Yeah.
You big dosser.
Yeah.
He's a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
He is a businessman. I am a Spartan.
Yeah. Have you got one of those fully Tyson Fury dolls? No, I'm joking. You must like him, though.
What makes you say that?
Because you can memorize every quote of his.
He's very quotable, isn't he?
He is, to be fair.
And he's got that distinctive...
Like he's eating a frog voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you could beat him?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be easy, though.
No.
The bookies, I think, would favour him.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
I think Anthony Joshua's got nothing else to prove in this game, and he should rather walk away than hang about and wait for someone to turn him over. It's either him and Tyson Fury, which we're all sick of. Is it happening or isn't happening? Or just walk out of it. He's a very comfortable, wealthy man.
That already happened, though, didn't he? He
Yeah.
get turned over. He got enough fighting. For me, it looked like someone just fighting on ego. Like, I'm Anthony Joshua, and he's had an unbelievable
He
career,
walked
but
in the ring like Elvis.
He walked in the ring like, as if it was already a foregone conclusion. You had someone young and hungry, but who was fighting on nerves, which is going to fight a lot harder early. And I felt like he did get turned over, and I think that's what
I wouldn't want to see Anthony Joshua leave his career like that.
Ben Davison has thrown cold water on one of the biggest fights in British boxing history, warning fans not to get their hopes up about ever seeing Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury finally square off.
Do you think we'll ever see AJ Fury? One, he's still retired. Can you tell me in 30 seconds and break all of our hearts? Do you think we'll ever see it?
I don't have the answer. If I did, I'd be a very rich man. However, I think that currently we're talking about somebody that's nearly been retired for a year, and we're talking about somebody that boxed over a year ago, his last time he boxed. So at the moment, it's not looking too promising.
Why have we not seen Tyson Fury AJ, Mel?
Oh, right, I'm gonna...
Have we ever been close to the point where you felt like, okay, this is going to happen?
Off the record, it's off the record, is it? We're here.
Get that live.
There has been many talks, obviously, in the office. Of course there has. It was going to happen so many times. They even DM'd each other at one point. I'm sure that's been reported.
Yeah, that's been reported,
But if not, now people know. They DM'd each other. It's just, sometimes it's just not the right time, the right place. That's all it is. And I think, for me, I'd love to see it. And
I think it will happen.
I hope so. No, I do. How am I going to know?
I'm desperate to do the face-off.
Yeah,
Like, it almost be like the dream, like Fury, AJ, in the middle, Frank, Eddie. Like, you'd sell pay-per-view just for the face-off.
You know they have nothing against each other.
I'd stir some shit up.
Like, no, I'd
go down to as low as level as he said, your mum.
No, don't do that.
I would go that low.
Don't do that, no.
To stir it up.
Then I'm not making him available. It's not going to happen.
I would stir it up.
The coach of the former two-time heavyweight champion admitted that despite years of hype, endless negotiations, and constant teases from promoters, a grudge match between the two may never actually happen. Joshua has been linked with a return to boxing in early 2026, possibly fighting in Ghana before taking part in a second bout that summer. Many hope the follow-up would be none other than the long-delayed showdown with Fury, but Davison has made it clear he doesn't see that as realistic right now. He pointed out that Fury has been out of the ring for over a year and has flirted heavily with retirement, making the fight less likely than it was even a couple of years ago.
However, there's talk of AJ boxing again, and I think that if Tyson decides to fight again, I think it'd be a shame if they both do fight again and it's not against each other. However, we have no right as the public to tell any fighter that they can't retire. So if Tyson decides to stay retired, he's earned the right to do that. My only thing I'd say is if they do both fight again and it's not against each other, then yeah, that'd be a shame.
The failure to get Fury and Joshua in the same ring has already frustrated countless fans, but Davison is not the only one who feels the clock is ticking. Lennox Lewis, one of the greatest heavyweights in history and an icon of British boxing, has urged both men to put aside excuses and finally make it happen before it's too late. Lewis reflected on his own career, admitting that he would have deeply regretted not fighting Mike Tyson. He now fears Joshua and Fury will suffer the same fate, watching their era end without ever settling who the true king of British boxing really was.
There's obviously going to be chats at this stage of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and where they're at in their careers. What do you think both of those two gentlemen should do next?
They should fight each other. I think the British public is waiting for that fight. I mean...
Will they regret it when they get to 60 if they don't do it?
Like, you know, for me, my regret would have been not fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
He was incarcerated for a little bit, and we didn't know what he was going to do, if he was going to come out, if he was going to fight. He came out, he fought. Now, you know, people know the difference between me and him. Now there's no, you know, guessing history.
You got to bookend the era, didn't you, basically?
Right.
You got to close off the era like you did with Klitschko as well.
Right.
You closed the era, there was no doubt about anything.
I think for the British fighters, they need to close the era too.
Yeah.
In that sense. But if they don't want to, it's up to them. You know, they're the kings for their what they want to do.
Meanwhile, Joshua is focused on mounting a big comeback. After his shock knockout defeat to Daniel Dubois at Wembley in September 2024, many questioned whether he would walk away. Instead, he has been spotted back in the gym, working hard and showing a clear desire to return. Eddie Hearn has said his fighter is eager to stay active and could even sneak in another bout sooner than people expect, rather than waiting until 2026. That has fueled speculation that Joshua might rack up 1 or 2 fights before Fury even makes up his mind about boxing again.
We've been speaking probably more lately than we have his whole career, to be honest with you, because this is a really important time for him in terms of what we do next. And I'll be honest, I don't think he'll mind me saying it. I think he's needed to just find himself a little bit after that Dubois defeat. It was quite a crushing defeat for him. And I think he just needed to make sure, you know, he's got a lot of business. He's wanted to clear that, get on with other projects and get those things out of his mind before he returns. Obviously, he had the operation as well. He had the injury and he's done that now. He's ready. He's ready to start going back into camp. And now I will probably have a trip in the next couple of weeks to see him, and we'll look to lock in that date of January, February, and who it will be. So hopefully soon I'll be able to give you guys some actual news rather than saying update soon. And he's pumped to return, and like I said, I like to see that from him. I would love to see AJ fight in Africa next. I think it would be epic, don't you? I mean, imagine what a thing to do. No, we talk about ticking boxes. I mean, AJ's done everything, but we need a good competitive fight before we roll the dice, and the rolling of the dice will come next, probably late summer, and we hope it will be against the man Tyson Fury. There's nothing we can do about it, and I don't know how the call out would have gone down with Tyson, because he's probably gone, I'm not going to give him a bite. He wants to bite, you know. So it's all mind games, isn't it?
Fury's future is even murkier. Initially, there were talks of him returning for a trilogy fight with Alexander Usyk, but that has been dismissed for now. Queensberry boss Frank Warren has been non-committal, saying it's all down to Fury and that there are no signs he will fight again this year. He admitted the situation is unclear and that Fury himself hasn't decided what he wants to do with his career.
The only big fight that matters for him is fighting Tyson. That's it. If he fights anybody else, does anybody really, you know, that's the fight, that's the big fight.
Come on, if he could fight any one of us three and it'd sell out surely, wouldn't it?
Sell out where? Depends where is it going to... Look, I don't want to start knocking AJ, and I'm not going to knock him. And I'm not even going to get into all these numbers. I have no idea. You're telling me what numbers are. What do I care? I mean, it means shit to me. It's not making the slightest bit of difference whether who's 1, 2, 3, 4 or anything. It's irrelevant. It's all irrelevant. What is relevant is delivering fights. And what we're doing is delivering great shows, competitive fights on a regular basis. That's what we are doing, and that's what matters.
Do we see AJ Fury next year, 26?
I don't know. If Tyson decides he wants to fight next year, he'll make his decision. At the moment, he's certainly not fighting this year. He's got his...
Absolutely not. He's got a lot to do this year. He's got a lot to finish, a lot to do.
At 26, could we see that fight?
Well, let's see.
Despite the doubts, Hearn remains determined. He has been chasing this fight for years, and although he has been burned by broken negotiations before, he refuses to give up. For him, next summer is the ideal time. Both fighters are still recognizable stars, and the longer the wait drags on, the less the fight means. He acknowledged that Fury's unpredictable decisions often derail common sense plans, but insists Joshua is ready to fight him if the opportunity arises.
That wasn't AJ going, all right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start calling him names so he'll fight me. I think the great news for fight fans, the great news for AJ and for us is that he's back, right? He's gone through that period of the injury and probably a little bit of sort of post-fight depression, which is something that a lot of people don't know about fighters when they get beat, particularly, right? And just took a bit of time to kind of find himself, finish some business projects so he could just focus on one last big run in the sport. And he's done that, and he's hungry, and he's ready. And that was like, but I knew that the last week or so, but when I saw that post, I was like, yeah, fucking let's go. And that just tells me he's ready to fight. So the plan now over the next week or so is to go and lock in that date, January or February, and it will be someone from the top 20 in the world as a comeback fight, if you like, before he rolls the dice, and hopefully that dice rolling will be against Tyson Fury. I love the idea of doing it in Ghana. I think it would be unbelievable. I mean, we've done a lot in his career, and he's done so much. But for him to take a fight to Africa, I think would be just wild scenes. And yeah, that would be my preferred choice.
Not everyone in boxing is convinced it will happen, though. Retired super middleweight champion Carl Froch has given his prediction, saying that if the two men ever meet, he can only see Fury winning. Froch argued that Fury's size, awkward style, and skill set make him a nightmare matchup for Joshua. However, he admitted that Fury's long layoffs and fluctuating weight could change things, especially if Joshua manages to stay sharp and in shape. Froch left a small window open for an upset, but maintained that Fury is the clear favorite. Conor Benn has also spoken on the matter and believes it would be unacceptable for the fight not to take place.
It needs a miracle if it needs AJ to come back, because AJ can't fight anybody except for a finish past his best.
Deontay Wilder?
No, forget Deontay Wilder. Okay. That's not a fight I want to see. It's going to be Tyson Fury if he decides to come out of retirement. That's the only fight that makes any sense for AJ.
For Ben, the British public has waited far too long, and delivering the fight is a matter of respect to fans. While he sees Fury's style as tricky for Joshua, he acknowledged Joshua's athleticism and ability to surprise. In his view, Fury should still be considered the favorite, but Joshua cannot be written off, especially given his hunger to redeem himself after recent setbacks.
AJ or Fury?
What?
Well, who would win if the fight happens?
I mean,
We'll put you under a bit of pressure.
it's a bit of an hard one, really.
Well, first of all, do you think the fight will happen?
It can't not. It'd seriously be so disrespectful to everybody. Everybody.
If it didn't happen.
That fight did not happen.
I know there's a few people in here that would definitely say AJ, just watching us, but
It's a hard one.
I want to push you for an answer.
It's a hard one. I mean, I don't really want to sit on the fence either. But I'm going to sit on the fence.
Come on, you've got to give me an answer.
So I think so. I think Fury's style could be all wrong for AJ. I think Fury's style could be all wrong for AJ.
We take that as
but then you can never write AJ off
because of the punch power.
But the athleticism. And I think now it's just got to a stage who's got what left.
Who does it mean more to?
Yeah, because if you'd put a young... No, it's still the same situation. If you'd put a young Fury and a young AJ in, still same sort of...
Who do you think it would mean more to out of the two of them?
Probably AJ.
Not everyone is confident enough to pick a side. Dillian White, a longtime rival of both men, has openly admitted that it's impossible to predict a clear winner. He pointed out that both fighters have strengths and weaknesses, and with so many factors at play, any outcome is possible.
Struggling to pick one in that fight, man, because it's very hard to pick, say this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna win. You can make a case of both guys, but I think it's a 50-50 match, I think, you know.
Vladimir Klitschko, who has shared the ring with both Fury and Joshua, had a much firmer take. The former dominant champion made it clear that he believes Joshua has the edge. He said, hands down Joshua, he is getting to be the complete fighter. Technically, size-wise, weight-wise, power-wise, and he is a good learner. The other guy, Fury, like a fart in the wind, is there and it is gone. In the history of boxing, there are a lot of examples of this kind of guy. They can be successful for a time, but are not disciplined enough to continue to be successful. I wish Tyson well, but I think there is a lack of discipline there. And discipline is more important than motivation. Drawing from my experience, I would say it is going to be very difficult for Tyson because there's that lack of discipline. Even Alexander Usyk, who has beaten both Joshua and Fury, weighed in with his thoughts. He leaned slightly toward Joshua, suggesting that if the fight goes the distance, Joshua might edge it on points. Usyk's take added another layer to the debate, as he knows better than anyone what both men bring to the ring.
The British fans will want to know you did 24 rounds with Tyson Fury, 24 rounds with Anthony Joshua. Which 24 rounds were harder together?
Tyson Fury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody wants them to fight each other. If you was in the studio doing commentary, who do you think is the favorite if they fight each other now?
Якщо захочеш коментувати в студії, коли буде бій між ними, між Тайсоном і Джошуа, які будуть твої преференції, кого ти будеш так?
Yeah. Maybe it's Anthony Joshua.
Knockout points?
I don't know. Maybe points, I don't know.
Otto Wallen, who has also faced both fighters, gave a more balanced view. He admitted Joshua is a strong counterpuncher with dangerous power, but still leaned toward Fury. Wallen pointed to Fury's unpredictability and unique style as reasons he remains difficult to beat. At the same time, he confessed that his fight with Joshua was tougher than his encounter with Fury, hinting that Joshua may pose more of a threat than some give him credit for. He said, "I feel like Joshua is a very good fighter, very good power, very good counterpuncher. I feel like he definitely has a shot with Fury, and you just never know what Tyson Fury shows up. I still have a hard time going against Tyson in that fight. But the fights, if you compare them, my fight against Joshua was a lot tougher than the one I had against Fury. That doesn't mean everything, but I give Joshua more of a chance than I did before. But I still would probably pick Fury as the favorite. Not everyone sees the fight as carrying the same importance it once did." Broadcaster Jim White expressed that the shine has worn off a little. He pointed out that both fighters have suffered losses and no longer hold unbeaten records or belts. For him, the stakes are lower now than they were during the height of their reigns, when the matchup would have been for all the glory. Still, even with diminished stakes, the fight remains one of the biggest in British boxing history and would draw massive attention if it ever happens.
Now look at the way AJ lost last time round. Fury now with 2 defeats. Is there still the hunger for that? They may say they want it over here, but is it really going to have the cachet that it once did?
I don't think I don't think it will have the appeal that it once did, but trust me, there's still a huge market for that fight. I think that people have always wanted to see that fight. Yes, they're both coming off losses to this great man now, but you got to accept, we got to accept greatness sometimes.
With so many conflicting opinions, the situation remains clouded. Joshua appears eager to return and prove he still belongs at the top, while Fury continues to keep everyone guessing about his next move. Some legends see Joshua as the favorite, others insist Fury would dominate, and a few sit on the fence altogether. What is clear is that the demand for the fight is still alive, even if the chances of it happening seem slimmer than ever. The heavyweight division has always thrived on spectacle, and Joshua versus Fury remains the one fight the world still craves. But between retirements, delays, and failed negotiations, time is running out. If both men truly want to cement their legacies and give fans the closure they deserve, they may need to act soon before history moves on without them.